Box clever. Watch HTV this Boxing night. You'll be in the best of company. Spinning a celebrity wheel of fortune at 7, Debbie Greenwood, Andrew O'Connor, and Tessa Sanderson. Then at 7:30...
They've offered me a part.
Oh, yes? What is it?
An ugly sister.
Fun with the Ropers at 7:30. Later at 8:30, Shelley's getting ready for Christmas.
Thank you very much. Not now. I hold it. We're carol singers. You give us money. Yeah, I'm short of cash. We take credit cards.
At 9, Bette Midler's kidnapped by ruthless people.
He seems pretty upset. He's got to pay.
Bad chance.
I'm going to drop the price to $10,000.
I'm being marked down.
The movie premiere, Ruthless People. So go on, open the box this Boxing Day on HTV.
It's my name. Black coffee with not a thing. Hot black coffee now, freshly ground and fully packed. The hot black coffee, boy. Well, that's way it's at. Come on. Black coffee. That's what I want. That's what I need.
Dark, blend 37. A blend of strength. The stereo will be great.
With my new Toshiba,
But you'll just have to wait.
for my new Toshiba,
I can stereo.
coming to Toshiba.
Digital, don't you know? You don't want hisses and fuzzy buzzes crawling up your ears. Every note you hear
On my new Toshiba,
will sound jolly clear.
on my new Toshiba.
Oh, hello, Jan, it's me.
We're all a bit more health conscious these days, aren't we? I eat these low-fat meals from Bird's Eye called Healthy Options. Tandoori chicken masala, marinated pieces of chicken in a spicy curry sauce, and man-sized portions. Hello, Jeffrey. I was just talking about you.
Now you don't have to be health mad to take the healthy option.
Maltesers, like crispy magic caught in a chocolate bubble.
Every night I hope and pray a dream lover will come my way. Girl who hold in my arms know the magic of her charms. Just a want girl to call my own. I want a dream lover so I don't have to dream alone.
Maltesers, the light fantastic.
Somebody left the key. I don't know what people think luggage racks are for. I really am terribly sorry. There are Oh dear, it's gone right through. So sorry.
That's nearly my stop.
1% alcohol, 100% tenants. Only at the MFI sale, up to 60% off 28 Hygiena kitchens with every unit reduced. Guaranteed unbeatable prices at the MFI sale. Starts Boxing Day, 9 till 6.
Catch the Do-It-All Winter Sale and walk away with some amazing savings. The great Do-It-All Winter Sale. It's on now.
This is HTV Cymru, Wales. Now we're on ITN in London for the news. The time, 4 minutes to 11.
The news from ITN. Bucharest TV says deposed President Ceausescu and his wife have been executed. Fighting continues in the city where the people's uprising began, Timisoara. Romania's first free Christmas in 40 years and the mourning for the thousands of dead. Also tonight, the Queen tells children the planet's future is in your hands. Good evening. Romanian television has announced that the deposed President Nicolae Ceausescu and his wife Elena have been executed. A secret trial held today is said to have found them guilty of a series of crimes, including the murder of 60,000 people. The United States and the Soviet Union both say they now recognize the new government, the National Salvation Front, but America regretted that the Ceausescu trial was not held in public.
The execution of the deposed Romanian leader and his wife was announced tonight on state television. The newscaster said the Ceausescus had been made to stand trial on Christmas Day. They were charged with genocide, murdering 60,000 victims, with abusing their power, destroying public buildings and undermining the national economy. The president was accused of smuggling $1 billion of the country's wealth out to foreign bank accounts. The newscaster said on all these grave charges, the Ceausescus had been found guilty and shot to death. After making the official announcement, the newscaster gave us his personal reaction. It's Romania's best Christmas present ever, he said. Elsewhere in the TV station, headquarters of the new regime, there was unashamed celebration.
In my opinion, it was too easy for them. You know, it was just a civilized execution when we are all, for so many years, tortured by this guy.
It was less than a week ago that the president cut short a visit to Iran to return to a country in turmoil. He was last seen on Thursday, a final appearance on the balcony of his presidential palace. When the army joined the people against the old regime, it collapsed. The president and his wife were arrested trying to escape the fighting. Since then, all members of his family have also been detained. Romanian television showed these pictures yesterday of President Ceausescu's daughter Zoe being arrested, with her quantities of jewelry and money. The former leader's private life has become public property. Even his personal photograph album, showing private moments, has been displayed on television. ITN, here inside the headquarters of the new regime, has learnt tonight that on the day the president was executed, there was a last abortive attempt by his supporters to free him. It ended in bloodshed. A dozen members of Ceausescu's secret police who tried to storm a Ministry of Defense building where they thought their leader was being held were gunned down. A short time later, their president met a similar fate. Paul Davis, ITN, Bucharest.
And Paul Davis is inside the headquarters of Romanian television, which announced the execution of the deposed president and his wife. He now joins me live from there. Paul, is the mood there one completely of jubilation?
No, it's not. I have to say that it's a very, very tense atmosphere. Everyone here is now waiting to see just how those remaining supporters of Ceausescu will react to their president's execution. And, of course, nowhere more so is that atmosphere tense than here at the TV station, which has come under heavy attack for the last 3 days.
Are there signs of any other attacks in the offing?
There have been sporadic fighting around the city all day, but it has been sporadic. There haven't been any of the heavy street battles that we've seen over the last few days. No signs at all that that was anything to do with the Christmas truce. More that the army, the People's Army now, is actually getting control of the streets.
Finally and briefly, Paul, is there any hint at all that the official version of events about the deaths is not quite the whole story?
That is very, very difficult to respond to. What I can tell you is at any moment now, Romanian television is expected to show pictures of the execution of the former president and his wife. That, at least, will end the one question lots of Ceausescu followers are asking, and that question being, was their leader really captured, and now was he really executed? Until they see those pictures or other evidence, they won't believe it.
Paul Davis in Bucharest, thank you very much. Romanians have been celebrating their first free Christmas for more than 40 years. But it's also been a Christmas of mourning for the tens of thousands who've died in the past week.
The bells drowned out the occasional sound of gunfire as the people of Bucharest gathered to grieve and pray for their dead. The pain of loss dulling the exhilaration of revolution.
For all children killed. And now it's very Christmas for all. For you, for me, for all. For my mother, for father, for brother.
On the streets where hundreds died, a Christmas tree where mothers mourn. Where fathers now can hope for the future.
The future will be beautiful because we are free now. We know what that means to be free. We pay our freedom with blood.
This Christmas Day, then, a day of remembrance for the dead, as well as a celebration of the birth of Christ, a day of thanksgiving that Ceausescu has gone, a day of hope that his security forces, the remnants of his secret army, will soon be defeated, and that Romania will be able to try and forget its past and concentrate on a free and democratic future. At midday, gunfire over the rooftops. Tanks surround the presidential palace, an indication that all is not yet under control. But British diplomats decided it was safe enough to evacuate non-essential staff and British nationals from the American embassy where they'd spent the night. The British and American ambassadors will stay behind.
We want to demonstrate our support for the new democratic Romania which is emerging here.
And that is correct.
The convoy carrying 22 Britons headed for Bulgaria, a drive of many hours, as Romanians prayed and wondered about their new free future. Vernay, ITN, Bucharest.
In the western city of Timisoara, where the revolution began a week ago, the fighting is continuing. Members of the dead dictator's secret police are still at large. From Timisoara, Colin Baker reports.
Like a trapped and wounded animal, one of Ceausescu's secret policemen lies in hospital. The rope prevents his escape. If he recovers, he'll face a people's trial, and like his former president, he may well be shot. Outside the windows of the ward, a soldier who's just died is taken away for burial. On this Christmas Day in Timisoara, the dying and the suffering continue. December the 25th is usually a normal working day here. Today, the men of violence upheld that tradition, refusing appeals to surrender. Morning and afternoon, the city echoed to the sound of gunfire as the army clashed with remnants of the security forces, the Securitate. Most of the fighting was centered around the Continental Hotel close to the city center. It's an area, it seems, chosen for the Securitate's final determined stand. The army have virtually no experience of this kind of street warfare. After each engagement, there are no follow-up searches. Suspect buildings are left unchecked, and the soldiers withdraw to patrol elsewhere. In this construction yard, about 50 gunmen fought with troops for several hours. Despite prolonged bursts of firing, the military appeared to suffer no casualties. It's unclear whether any of the opposition were hit or captured. No matter how big a military presence there is on the streets of Timisoara, the Securitate seem capable of taking on the military just when and where they please. This skirmish that's taking place here now, and it's only lunchtime, is one of about half a dozen that have taken place today so far. But even gun battles couldn't suppress the newfound voice of freedom of speech. In the main square, a few hundred gathered to hear speeches and to make them. Tonight, soldiers have been firing flares around the hotel looking for snipers, but so far the area has been mostly quiet. Most of the streets are being patrolled by soldiers. So far, with few civilians around, there's been little reaction to Ceausescu's death. Colin Baker, ITN, Timisoara.
Now, for the latest on the situation in Timisoara, we go live to Colin Baker, who is with ITN's satellite dish there. Colin, we can see a Christmas tree, and we can also see soldiers behind you. How do you think the news of Ceausescu's death will be taken there?
Good morning, Nick. There are very few people here on the streets at this time of the morning. It's 1 o'clock now. And, of course, in darkness, there are not many people around anyway. We've seen about half a dozen in the last few hours. The danger, of course, from gunfire, so that they're staying indoors. The one or two that we have spoken to have said quite simply, justice has been served. I have to say to you that the soldiers behind us, just as you came on air, have told us that there are more snipers around. We've heard some gunfire quite close by in the last few minutes. We're told that they're now using silencers on their weapons, so we shan't hang around too long.
No, indeed. Do you think it is possible now that the death of the Ceausescus will convince these security policemen to give up?
There is most certainly a hard core of Securitate here in Timisoara. They have resisted all appeals to come forward. There are military vehicles going around the town day after day, asking them to give themselves up, to surrender their weapons. Perhaps Ceausescu was shot because he was the figurehead, once removed, that these people would have nothing else to fight for. But I think here in Timisoara that this hardcore are going to take a lot more persuading to come forward.
Colin Baker, take care. Thank you very much indeed. President Bush is discussing ways of getting Panama's General Noriega out of the Vatican's mission in Panama, where he's taken shelter. So far, the Vatican's refused to give him up. A Defense Department spokesman said that resistance from Noriega's supporters is almost at an end, and some U.S. troops may soon be withdrawn. Here, the Queen struck a new note of informality in her Christmas Day speech to the nation. She shared her concerns for the environment with 2,000 children from the Commonwealth.
Instead of a usual setting of Windsor or Sandringham, this year the Queen chose the Royal Albert Hall to deliver her Christmas message. Surrounded by 2,000 children from the Commonwealth, the Queen told them the future of the world was in their hands.
Some species of wild plants and animals are sadly bound to become extinct. The great thing to remember is that it is not too late to reduce the damage if we can change our attitudes and behavior.
Afterwards, some of the children stayed behind to ask some rather personal questions. Did she ever feel nervous in front of large crowds?
Well, sometimes one does, yes. It's quite something. And,
you enjoy your job as the Queen?
I find it very interesting, yes. Had lots of opportunities to meet people and visit countries.
Is the crown very heavy?
It's quite heavy, yes. You don't really want to walk about very long in it. But it's meant to be heavy, I think.
I hope you have a nice Christmas.
Oh, that's very kind. Thank you very much.
There'll be more bulletins from ITN through the night. We hope you're having a happy Christmas holiday. Good night from everyone here at ITN and from ITN's teams in Romania.
Good evening, I hope you're having a happy evening. We've been spending most of our day watching the clouds game, would you believe? And this is how it started earlier this morning, a view from space. Most of the cloud out to the west, but some bands of showers across the whole of Britain. Thicker cloud in the southeast. See how things have been moving during the day today. This is about the time that Santa was coming down the chimney. Some heavy showers around, as you can see, but some clearing skies as well during this afternoon. So most people have seen some sunshine, and we should all see a little bit of sunshine tomorrow. Let's have a look at tonight's weather then. One or two fog patches around, I think, during the night tonight, so take care if you're driving. Most of them down in the southern half of Britain, as you can see. A few showers left as well, some heavy ones around, mostly in the west, with the winds gradually dying down, but staying quite blustery up in the far north. Temperatures tonight in the air, well, temperatures mostly just above freezing, but there could just be one or two odd icy patches around, so do take care if you're driving tonight. Now tomorrow, a brighter day, as I suggested, for most of us, some sunshine around, the best of it down the eastern side of the country there, where you're sheltered from these southwesterly winds. Heavy showers still to come in the far north, and the southeast is causing a little bit of a problem. There's quite a lot of thick cloud to come for the southeast, and as we go through the day, it'll be sneaking a little bit further north too, with outbreaks of rain mostly down in the southeast. Here's tomorrow's temperatures, a fresher day than we've had today, 6 or 7 quite typically, I think, in spite of that sunshine, but a bright and fresh day for most of us. That's about it. Here's the summary.
Now the weather forecast for Wales. Any showers will die out, leaving the night cold with some icy patches likely on any untreated roads. Tomorrow will be generally dry and bright with a good deal of hazy sunshine, especially during the morning. However, it will be a little colder than today, with temperatures around 7 degrees Celsius but with only light and variable winds, and the outlook remaining dry and bright. That's the weather forecast for Wales.
Get a free £5 B&Q voucher for every £50 you spend on Boxing Day. Only at B&Q's winter DIY sale. Nobody does it better.
Nothing else quite hits the mark.
You got a big day ahead, but the groom's just got out of bed. You're not ready? Oh, my clock stopped. Better get that taste. Get the Maxwell House in your car. Get the Max. It's the best way of waking up. Get the Max. Maxwell House is the way to the taste of today. Now you gotta make tracks. No time to relax.
Hurry up, we'll just make it. Perhaps I should phone. Give her a ring when you get there.
Get the Max.
La mer, qu'on va danser le long des golfes clairs, à des reflets d'argent, la mer, des reflets changeants sous la pluie.
Veuve du Vernay. You don't need a better reason.
La mer.
If your car is running on 4-star, it could perhaps use SO Super Plus Unleaded right now, without converting the engine. Unlike ordinary unleaded, it has the same octane power as SO 4-star, so there's no loss of performance. It's cheaper than our 4-star, and environmentally, it makes more sense. SO Super Plus Unleaded. You may be able to switch to it right now, without converting your engine. Check with our brochure.
In Homeworld's winter sale, every furniture and electrical item displayed is reduced to clear. The Homeworld sale starts Boxing Day.
Happiness is a cigar called Hamlet, the mild cigar.
Majestic Kenya, where I find myself, naturally enough, in a wicker basket. And if you are up and away this year, don't take off without a Barclay card. It'll buy you a couple of seats for the big game and stand you a drink at your favourite watering hole. The fact is, here in Africa, the Barclay card is welcome at thousands of places, from Morocco to the Masai Mara. And after the wildlife, the nightlife. Yes, it'll even get you into the local hop.
Take a Barclay card. Over 6 million places do.
Well, hello everybody. How are you all? Have you had an excellent Christmas day? You have. Splendid. Well, welcome, as I say, to Christmas night at the movies. Plenty of movies to take you right through to the early morning. Splendid stuff. I've got some good Christmas presents. I, in fact, had a pair of boxer shorts, and due to IBA rules, I'm not allowed to show you them on the air. But if you'd like to come back to my place later, who knows what'll happen. Good Lord. Anyways, here's a few hellos to a few people. It says, please, please, please say hello to me. It says, here, Jeremy Kerrison, age 5.5. My goodness, Jeremy, what splendid handwriting you have. Also, hello to John Riordan. It said hello to my wife, Noelle, and Alison, my daughter. So hello to both of you. And the last one here says, say hello to Mum, Dad, Nan Price, Rusty the dog, and that's from Lizzie Birdsworth. I know what you're all waiting for. I'm waiting for it too. Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's splendid.